invitarme, Tomás. Pues me da mucho gusto verte siempre. Entonces, okay. Sorry, I started to speak very fast. I made these slides in Spanish.
It's okay.
I think it's, as I was saying, you won't need too much concentration. It's nice to see you, Walter. But there are some thoughts about certain topics about data. That is the only thing that I want to show. And probably if there are also questions about any topic, we can take it now. I'm now working in the public service. I work at the Instituto de Información aquí está chiquito, Instituto de Información Estadística y Geográfica de Jalisco. Is the Institute of Information of Statistics and Geography of Jalisco. I'm now the director of a new direction that it is called Estadística y Análisis Estratégico. And in some point, I take all the topics that we try to work. This is our institute. Our goal of the institute is to provide information, public information that it could be of interest of the people in general, that it can be easy to get access. That's the whole point, and it's not quite easy in the sense that there are a lot of information that is well, it's in the web, like in open data format from different federal offices or federal institutions, but normally they are not processed in a way that you can have the data for Jalisco or for the municipalities of Jalisco. So normally what we do is to download this data to process and to present it in our web page in different formats or different products. But this is my boss, and this girl is a mathematician, by the way. You know her. Hector, some of you know Hector Moreno, is like here. Probably there is Renato, I don't know who Renato is here. Helter knows him. I don't know, there is like physicists in this occasion, physicists we took the institute. Before we arrived to this institute at this administration, but before normally most of the people in the technical area were economists, and now the economists got aside and the physicists took the ship. Okay. The first is like physicists in the government. Like it's like normally when we study here in university or also in postgraduate programs, we do not think about the to work at the government. It's not our first thought. Maybe our second, yes. But it's not so rare. We have examples. Isaac Newton dedicated probably more time in the office for the coin. I don't know, remember the name in English. It's kind of the central bank, but he tried to also make innovations about how to be sure that the coin was the right weight and you can have confidence about the coin. And the other one that is very impressive is Lavoisier. Lavoisier, it was impressive because he started working in some office that collect taxes in the monarchy. He was and the point is that he tried to elaborate. I mean, he was very successful because in that epoch, there was a lot of how do you say this trade, but that is not regular, but trade that is
Informal.
Huh?
Informal.
But it is worse than informal.
Under the table.
Under the table, yes. I mean, that it was illegal. In this case, it was about tobacco, and the point is that what they do is
Black market.
This was a kind of black market, but it's supposed to be the not the black market, but the real one. But they adulteraban el tabaco. I don't know in English what is the word. Do you know how adulterar? It's like when you have alcohol. Alcohol adulterado is like tequila, but it's not really tequila. They put, I don't know, water or they put other methanol or I don't know, different things. But that the substance is yes, adulterate. But the point is that they put to the tobacco they put some amount of ash like from the fire. Ash. And the point is that he wanted to he proposed a change in the regulations, so it could be a little bit that so you can adulterate a little bit your tobacco, and in that way, but also he made the ways how to detect cheap, how to detect the amount of the ashes that it was in the tobacco, and this the point that this could allow the people to adulterate a little bit. It was a way that they could be able to catch a lot of the taxes. It was a way that the people could work in that way, but also in a formal way that they could receive taxes, and also they could detect the worst cases. But the point is that something clever he implemented, and this took him to higher positions. At the end, it was not very good for him because he was one of the main persons that in charge of the tax office. They how do you say the la guillotina? How is called? I don't know, but like
The chop off his head.
The chop off his head. But imagine that there were look. He was commission of the treasure in the area of the revolution, not only in the monarchy. I mean, he was a person that the public service, it was something in his heart. But look the years. Here is in 92 and here in 91. I mean, he was in between because the monarchy doesn't end only with the death of the king, but the point is that there was in between parallel coexistence in different governments, and he was working in both.
Wow.
Yes, but well, this story. There is also Fourier was Napoleon designed Fourier to govern an entire department in France. The departments are something. There are territory kind of big, similar to an state. And well, he was dedicated to implement different infrastructure, and he made, I think, how do you say, canal? Channel? Well, water channel, or I don't know. I don't remember it was a water channel, but he was doing different things, but he was designated, and Horst, I think I don't remember, but he worked in Egypt, and I think that he started working very young. He made this famous exponent Horst filter, or there is a filter that I don't remember how it works, but in some way he tried to characterize time series. And it was about the level of the Nile. Okay, and we are not the same. I mean, I don't want to have a comparison, but in this occasion, the reason that Renato and I, and also Ulises is there, is because our experience in the academia, in the PhD, on different things, we were doing. We started to learn things and to be able to do stuff, and it was probably the mixture between AI techniques that Ulises normally he's a person that very strong to work with AI techniques in remote sensing for detecting from images or statistics. I think I was the one who I was working a lot with Thomas and the group in Cuernavaca, and data flux. This is more normally in the academia. It's common that we work with a batch of data, in the sense that you have this data and you work with that, and you can make the analysis or I don't know. But normally it's a batch, but it's not a continuous flux that you are working in the academia. When we prepare our project for thesis or for the articles, it's a particular time, particular form. Although normally we used to study a lot of systems that normally they are not steady or no, or systems that are continuously moving. And okay, but the real part is that we have like the eighth, but this is a kind of nice, I don't know if it's to say coincidence. In the government, when we started to work in the government of Jalisco, it was an office that it was called Coordinación de Innovación, and we were working in a small office inside Innovación. We were called Dirección General de Inteligencia. Yeah. No, sí, what is this intelligence? Something like that. And the point is that our boss from this direction, it was a person who knows who knows a lot of geomatics. This is like the knowledge or the combination between geography and informatics. And the point is the knowledge to work with geographical information systems. That is the things to create maps. That's the point. To create maps, but with attributes, with data, with a lot of technical things that are particularly useful, and people that know about software development, and to have good practices in the making code, to use control versions with the use of GitLab to do things like with projects in a collaboratory way, that we can in a single project. Sometimes we were working 3 or 4 persons, each one in different branches, and I don't know, is this the good practices about this, and the scopes to have information or to deal with information in space, is there are like kind of muscles that normally they shine more than these ones. but well, this was like the kind of a good mixing or a good como decir sinergia. It's like a crossover. Uh, I like this one, this chapter in particular.
It's a good picture of physics.
And now as we are working, I also like to see this because one friend told me, Paulino, what now you're doing a Google Sheet form and then what happened? And you told that you were going to do some stuff of research or mathematics or very I don't know, and now you're doing this type of things. But in the reality, I mean, it's kind of funny. But in the reality, I really think that what I'm doing is in the scope or with the focus of as a physicist. I do not think that I'm kind of I'm not doing a job or my um, how to say my duties, my current duties is, I don't think that they are aside the profession that we have and that we acquire here as physicists, because this the thing to be physicist is not only to know things, to know mechanics or know I don't know electrodynamics, but the point is the way of thinking and how can we take information about the reality. And the point is that now in the institute, for me, it's like the place where I can gather like a control tower where I can gather the different ways of measurements, all of the different sensors that we have. And what do we measure? We do not measure the I don't know, an ecosystem in particular or the weather or or I don't know, a galaxy, or what we measure is they are systems, but kind of human systems and systems. I don't know, but for me it was not easy to find a word, but in um, the word that I put in the title is territorial socioeconomic system or something like that. I don't remember. But the point is that they are system. As humans, we do a lot of stuff, and normally the different things that we do and the different, like in the aggregate, there are a lot of important effects. I mean, we are not separate what happened with all the rest of the people and in different parts. And there are things that are happening, but although we know that they exist, not necessarily we have them, or not necessarily we have measurements that we can track what is happening in different stuff in our human activity and all the I don't know and all that this can contemplate. Um, as humans, there are a lot of things, and this is the complex system. This is a particular um, scheme that I show some with some people in the public service, that because we also gave some talks and courses, and we have measurements, and the measurements I will talk in the next slide, but the measurements are of different types. And the data is when we have these measurements in a particular format that is in our possession. I mean, it's not enough that you have a kind of needle, or how do you say in the... no es que decimos aguja en un medidor, pero en inglés no recuerdo.
In a cage.
¿Dónde?
In a cage. Needle
O sea, las agujas de los medidores, ¿sí? Needle in a cage.
in a cage.
In a cage. ¿No?
We're talking about a compass.
But in general, I don't know. You have in a dam for water, in a water dam, you have probably a floater to measure the I don't know the level of the dam, or sometimes in the wall there is a wall that is graded,
and you can have the measurement, but you still have to take the measurement in some format that you can handle the format. And well, was for the course of statistics, but sometimes we do statistics with the data, and we take, I don't know, this is like some topic that what type of idea or what type of things we take about this is something. There is a popular, un dicho popular, este es en español, dice, cuando no sabemos medir lo que importa, nos termina importando solo lo que sabemos medir. I don't know if it is true or not, but it's like, oh, you can think and go to your home. Oh. No, but this is related about a fallacy of a general that it says, okay, in as physicists, our paradigm, what is the pronunciation of paradigm? Paradigm. Our paradigm is that we want to study or discuss about things that we can measure. If we cannot measure, as physicists, we say no. There is no point that we discuss something if we do not have measurements. But in which way we can make asserts or we can, yes, it's difficult. Even if we have measurements, it's difficult to discuss. It's not, and we will see. But I think that this.
In that context, what is complex system?
Oh, wow. It's the same that in the context in physics, in the sense that a complex system is simply a kind of system. There are a lot of elements making interaction with each other. It's like the point, and normally they have emergent properties. But the point is, this fallacy, I won't tell too much, but it says, okay, if there are a lot of stuff, and not this is and all this stuff normally is not easy to measure. And okay, let's start making the measurements of the easiest things. Okay, we start with this. The low hanging fruit for the measurement. We take this. Okay, the next part, the more difficult. Okay, maybe we do not measure, but maybe we make, I don't know, an interpolation, or we invent the data, I don't know, something. But we don't take too much care because we know that this data is not reliable because we made up because it's difficult. And this is not reliable, so we take less importance. And with the things that we do not measure at all, we sometimes treat them like they don't exist. And this is a kind of bias that is a way to the disaster. It's very important, first of all, as physicists, first of all, that, as physicists, it's very important that our paradigm, we can be very serious in the sense that we want to measure the things and we want to discuss with measurements. But also, it's important to know that even that we have some measurements, that there are a lot of things that we do not measure and we have to consider in the context. And this context normally is important to make good approximations or to make a study that can be well done. And we have to be very critical and rigorous about this stuff. In the TV, when the people talks about politics, economics, and normally the people know the cause or so it's something happened. And normally the people know what it's about and what is the cost exactly. I don't know, if the dollar goes up, there are people that says which I don't know. It's because of the president, no? I know it's because of I don't know. But all the people knows like the conclusion. What this is not my first. I wanted to create a meme, but I had no enough time. The first meme that I wanted to create is this meme that you can see in the TV shows with these reporters or these experts in, I don't know, a different topic, or that they say, no, estos son datos duros. Datos duros, you can understand, is duro, like, yes, like hard, like hard data, I don't know. Yes, these son datos duros, datos duros. If you hear someone that tells that, you take a step back. Is because it's kind of a, I mean, it's a trick. It's really a trick, and I will show some examples. Here it says, they said also this saying that dato mata relato, and the point is that when you are arguing and some people argue something and you say no, aquí está el dato, listo. But normally los datos, normally the data is it has to be connected with the context, and you have to be very like with the an open how to say the wide open the eye, in the sense that you have to know the limits and the possible problems with the data that you have in your hands. Okay, let's do an exercise. First question. Take your can we, this is an easy one. Well, it seems an easy one. Can we know the magnitude of formal employment in the different municipalities? This and how can we measure the magnitude? I don't know. It could be like how many percentage of people have formal employment, but people of all the people, also the kids, or I don't know. The norm. This is not a precise question, but the point is that if we have the tools to measure to measure this, and if we do it okay, then the first action to try to attack this problem. I don't know. Imagine that we are the like the assistants of the governor, and he asked us this. Okay, we know about. We are scientists. Maybe we can handle. So we asked ChatGPT. Sorry, I couldn't put the question. I have to corner a little bit the question. But at the end, ChatGPT says, okay, the data sets useful for your question are two. One of these is this data set of IMSS. I will explain what is this one. And another data set of INEGI. We have two data sets. I start to explain. INEGI has a data set that comes from survey, or how do you say encuesta? Poll? Or is different, isn't it? So survey, I mean, one of them has to be more rigid or restricted in the way of the methodology. Mm-hmm. So okay, they make a survey in the first trimester of each year, and a survey for each municipality. INEGI, there is a very famous survey that is called ENOE, Encuesta Nacional de Ocupación y Empleo. Each 3 months they do it, but only for a resolution of the state. They don't have resolution of the municipality. But the first trimester, the first 3 months, they do it for each municipality, and one of the things that they try to catch is the percentage of population with age older than 15 years, which percentage are they do two things. From people from 15 or more, which percentage has an occupation, and from the people with that occupation, which percentage has a formal occupation, a formal employment. So we can have the percentage of formal employment from all the people above 15 years old. That's what they have, and each year has one indicator for each municipality. This one is different. This one, this data set comes from a lot of administrative registrations of the IMSS. If you some of I think that you have IMSS really, or is IMSS. IMSS. As you are registered in IMSS, so your registration is in a database, and from this database, IMSS take out or extract data each month for public access, but it's not per person, but they have a lot of attributes like they add up like for municipality, for age, not a specific age, but for each 5 years, for range of age, for range of salary, for sex, and for different economic sectors. And I don't remember another one of those, but this is very disaggregated. They have a lot of attributes. So each month, one of these files in each month they publish a new file, and each month the file it contains like 4 million of lines of data. And we can.
This data set is for the registration of IMSS or for the registration of numéro de seguro social. Because all the people who have an NSS, numéro de seguro social, they do not register in IMSS.
No, it's IMSS in the sense that you can have, yes, because you can have a número seguro social, you can have it, but if you don't work anymore and you are not, you had a job, a temporary job, you have your number, you are registered, you have you have the insurance, but if your job finishes, you are not anymore insurance. I don't know. No estás asegurado.
That's an interesting question because many people that it's not working is just a student holds insurance.
But this data set is they also separate which one are which persons have insurance and which one are working persons, and also they separate if it's a temporal job or is. I don't remember all the.
Use a beneficiary or something. Okay. And my last question, because I think the authority that holds the taxes should give this information to you as an institution, because that's the easy way to know who is working under formal employment.
No, but actually they. Oh no.
Perdón,
they do not send this data to our institution. This is free. I mean, you can download it.
It's public?
Yes, public. And each month they publish both the survey of INEGI each year. They took this ILMM, indicadores laborales para los municipios de México, and each month they publish the data set. Actually, today it was the day that was updated. This data that Jalisco it had some. There are not very good news in the last month. I don't know why. It seems that a lot of people that were hired in a municipality that is Cocula, and last month they hired a lot of people in Cocula. I don't know why. It's weird. We are investigating this, but now they are not hired. I don't know. But this like issues. I will talk later. But the point is that this is open data. Both of them are open data. Let's see. And the point is, there are three alternatives. Which one do you use? Let's see. IMSS, voy a poner INEGI is one data for each year. IMSS both. Let's see. Let's do a poll. Who votes for this one? Just for fun. No, don't think that there are.
Podemos separarnos en un tercio y un tercio.
Yes, but it's. I mean, if you have you have equal weight in trust or reliability, you can say, okay, both is okay, because both is in that they should be consistent. In the sense that most of the people that works in formal employment, mechanically they have they are registered in IMSS, like 96% of the formal employment is registered in IMSS. So this is INEGI. Someone wants to give more credit here?
No, it's simpler. I mean, less data, so first to make.
Okay, one. No, ya jefe.
Es cada año, ¿no?
Sí. Tres. IMSS. 5, 6, 8, 9. Both. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Okay, and the sense of both is what we expected, in the sense that they should be consistent. My point is that we have a lot of data here, and this is data. Estos son datos duros, in the sense that they are registrations. They are and this is the service, and they should be consistent. Let's see. This is from INEGI. What you see is a time series. Each year they have a data per year. I put some of the municipalities with colors for make the comparison, but all the rest of municipalities in Jalisco, they are in the gray part behind. These gray lines are behind. If you can see, this is the percentage of the populations above. I mean, if you take all the population above 15 years, we are putting there which percentage of this population have formal job. And from INEGI, from the survey. And if you can see, from 0 to 10, there are there are not too much municipalities. You can see a few lines. Most of the municipalities are concentrated in this area. That is between 10 and 20 more or less. And there are some above. And this one is Lagos de Moreno, Chapala, La Barca, Atemajac de Brizuela, y Cuautla. Now let's see the next one. The next one, what we did is we took the population. We took the population of the projection of population that released CONAPO. CONAPO is it's the institution that measures the populations, and also who implement the policy of population. And we have the projection from CONAPO, and we have exactly the number of persons that are working. No, not only working. We took the person that have insurance. I think that we did it with every person insurance. I don't remember exactly, but and we have the percentage of that. Let's see. Look. It's very different. I mean, the percentage, the numbers are very small, so sorry. Here is 10, 20, 30. If you can see, between 0 and 10 lives most of the municipalities. And you can say, okay, well, maybe it's a factor of a scale, because we are measuring not exactly the same thing. But also, if you make a histogram, this is the last one. I mean, this one, the histogram, you have a curve with a mode like similar to this. I mean, here is 0. And the other one is more like this. If you can see, most of the municipalities are down there. So the point is that they are not consistent. Statistically, they are not consistent. And also we can see, if we want to see the stories of the particular municipalities, for example, Cuautla, we have this level almost 0 of people with formal employment. From in 220, make a jump to be between 10 and 20. I mean, about the scale is not important, but the tendency, it is important. And here we don't have this jump. I mean, this is like 22 to 21 here, and here you can see a line that grew up in a time that it was particularly after. Here the jump was detected before. And I don't know. The point is that they are different stories. They have different properties. And we say the data is the data. Okay, data is the data, but what we are going to tell to the governor? Because if we wanted to answer the question of if we can know the magnitude of each municipality, now it seems difficult. I don't know how to put the hands on the fire for the data, and what can we really know about this particular thing, that for sure there is a proportion of persons with formal employment. I mean, there is a reality that is there, and we have our nuestros aparatos de medición. How do you say in English? Aparatos. We have our measurement. Tools, yes, and our measurement tools. But I mean, we have them, but it seems like difficult to have a particular reliability about them, and this is, for me, it's the big part of the reflection that I wanted to share. I mean, there are solutions. It's not that this is not that this is done and that's it, and we do nothing. In general, what is wrong is this one of the IMSS. And it's counterintuitive in the sense that we have a lot of data and specific registrations. But the point is that these administrative, like the registrations or the data sets that came for administrative things, their purpose of the data set was not to measure something. The purpose is other. The purpose has to do with the procedures and with the payments and with the, I don't know, they have a different purpose, but we use this data to know things. I mean, but for administrative registration, that's not the particular purpose. But for the other, by the other hand, INEGI, they design a particular methodology to measure the things that they want to measure. It's designed, and they design a random sample for territory, for population, for social stratification. I don't know. It's something that is designed particularly to have data like reliable and the weight of the design of the methodology of the service is something that in some sense gives you the confidence that you only will have fluctuations about some value that this is the real value. And I mean, even if you have a very well designed survey, you can have errors, or maybe the reality that you or your assumptions, probably they are not exactly as you thought. This can happen, but this is this is a best effort to have data. And when we analyze this one, what we could see, I won't say that it's a conclusion, but this one we like our nose can see. Maybe afterwards some academic works can be done to have conclusions more solid. But the point is that this line that are up there and all of this one is because there are a lot of people that works in the different municipalities in Jalisco that they have a formal job, but the registration of the center of the company is not in that municipality, but in a municipality with a bigger city. And normally the Tepatitlan, Lagos de Moreno, they have a bias, like upwards bias. Meanwhile, the other municipalities, the small municipalities, normally they are a bias that depress the numbers in this registration. So when we find out this one, we were about already to publish a new tool in IEG that it calls Mapalab. You can see it one day. It's nice. But in Mapalab we put a map of Jalisco, and with colors we color indications. Let's see. Mapalab. Look. Oh no. This one is Mapalab. Well, this doesn't want to show up, but the point is that normally with the colors, I mean, you can look for poverty, for crime, for people that have disappeared, for example, for mothers, teenagers, mothers, I don't know. And each municipality will put a color or from a color scale. And this is a particular decision of how to put the colors and what is the color scheme. A color scheme includes in how many categories or in how many classes you divide the colors. So and then which are the ranges of values for each class, and then the palette of colors. And the point is that normally one of the criteria is that the colors has to be not by net numbers, but all the time all the numbers we wanted to put in terms of the population, so we cannot make an unfair an unfair signal or the point is that the section that we did was this database of IMSS, because we see that if we put the percentage of population with that were with the insurance in means, if we do it in that way to show the percentage, we were going to be unfair with the small municipalities, but because we already detected the bias, and it could be some irresponsible stuff to put something with a bias that is not in favor of the more vulnerable, of the most vulnerable places. And bueno, maybe okay, it's probably the map. It's not the day for the map, but in general, the point is that, I mean, one of the main points is that we have to be very careful of the data. In all the circumstances, in all the different disciplines, the data, there has to be a lot of, conscious about what is for, how the data was collected, what is the purpose, etc. And I did the same. I won't tell about this. Is about the birds, nacimientos. we have data from INEGI, and we have data from the Secretaría de Salud. INEGI is the orange one, and Secretaría de Salud is the red one. The blue one, there are projections of CONAPO. And normally the projections were very nice, but probably because of COVID, or I don't know, there was a change, a very abrupt change in the people that were born in the years in the future. I don't know what is. I don't know. We do not know the.
Divorces during COVID.
Probably I don't know. Actually, we have a data. INEGI has a data of divorces. It exists. We wanted to hear, for example, INEGI releases the data, but no, I want to like, because there are very specific thing that the point is that INEGI, the release of the data of INEGI normally is not yet completed, because normally the people that were born in this year, for example, 2023, normally they register the next year. I mean, if a person lives were born in December, maybe in February, where they made the registration. But normally the Salud, the health, the Ministry of Health, they have it because they have the registration of the births in the hospitals. I mean, that is different, the registration. So normally the red one of the Secretaría de Salud, they have like with better opportunity the data. And INEGI, like when they, as the years advance, INEGI takes the normal level, but at the end INEGI normally has more than Salud, than the health office, because there are a lot of, I don't know, there are a lot of persons that do not have birth in the hospitals or in the registration, the official registrations, but they register as persons. Okay. In general, we have like censos, encuestas, estimaciones, registros administrativos, and measurements. And this is like a lot of, like there are a lot of different types of data in our measurements that we can have about the socioeconomic systems or the territorial economics, social systems, and our institutions are like the different institutions at different levels are the ones that can handle it. It's not cheap to do this type of things, and it's not cheap to have data and to try to know what's happening in general. And something. This is a good question. ¿Para qué nos alcanza? I don't know in English what is the best way to say it. But the point is that what do we have? And for example, we cannot know if a particular municipality, the extortion that they collect money from the locals or from the stores, I don't know, from the different business in the territory. We cannot know if it's in particular municipality they are growing or going down or something like that, because we do not have that resolution at the level of Jalisco. We know it, but at the level of municipality we do not know. We can know because you call with, I don't know, a person and they say no, todo está peor, or no, sí está muy feo, no, I don't know, but it's not a systematic way. And if it's not a systematic way, there are different perceptions. I don't know, it's something. In general, we have a particular spatial resolution or temporal resolution. If we want more spatial resolution, like we have in INEGI with the census of population and housing, it's very expensive. It's very expensive to do this type of exercises in all Mexico. That's why we have it only each 10 years. But also we can have something with a small or short temporal resolution, like survey of employment that they have each 3 months. but the spatial resolution is the Jalisco or the states. You cannot go. It's difficult to go further, and I think that is all the thing that I want to talk. I also it's a kind of I don't know if it's commercial or something that we are proud that we make a complete modification of the institution now that the physicists arrived there. In the first month, we proposed a different form of operative form. Normally, these squares, there are different directions of our institute. There were 4 important about topics: direction of socio-demographics, economical and financial direction, geography and environment, and government and security and justice. And the point is that each one of these areas, each one were in charge of handle and process and do all the products of each topic. So I was the director of economical and financial information. So all the data that comes in some way, I try to take the data, to process, to make maps or tables, and at the end to have products. And each direction make the different products, and all the products they put it in a web page, and you have a web page with products in of different standards and formats. And there was a direction that was the one in charge to put everything together. And the change that we have made, that was approved 6 months ago at the beginning of this year, this was the flux that was in the previous structure, and we proposed to have areas that handle the process of this, but to have standards in the way of managing the information. So in the end, we made this. All the data that the data can be of different topics and flavors. It's going to be inside of our institution first. To get the data, we have an area of the system of information. Renato is the one in charge of that area, and the point is to have a kind of platform, the data platform, that we can make all the like automatization, and also there are good practices of data governance that we can make. I don't know the word in English, trazabilidad, that you can track each step of the data, and the point is that is the way in which the data from external sources come into our institution. Here is the direction of artificial intelligence and computational of hyper performance computation, and Ulises is the one in charge of that area. And the point is try to help for all the processes that can be automatized or can be reduce the work of the people. The next is the area to make maps. Is for geographical information, geospatial information. The point of this is that all the maps have the same standards also. The next one is the Estadística y Análisis Estratégico. This is my direction, that I took care of all the topics as the one I just spoke about. And at the end, another that is in charge of all the outcomes that can be very well documented and very well, all the documentation and traceability about the data has to be easy for the people that gets into our web page, and they don't have to believe what we did, but there has to be a good documentation what exactly is what they are taking. And at the end, there is another direction that puts everything together in harmony. That is the project management. And that's it. That's it for if it was maybe a kind of large, but I don't know.
much. Questions? Okay. No?
Y bueno, igual les digo en español, porque quiero que sea una frase emotiva. No, nada más decir que sí hay mucho que hacer y sí se necesitan perfiles técnicos. Y obviamente hay que hacer en la academia, hay que hacer en iniciativa privada, pero también en los asuntos de importancia pública sí se requiere gente que le meta así como cabeza y corazón, porque hay un chorro de, o sea, pues sí hay un chorro de cosas que se pueden, o sea, hay mucho por hacer, hay un chorro de cosas que quedan cortas, las manos en este caso de un gobierno estatal tan chiquitas, y hay veces tan, o sea, pues sí, no sé, las manos tan chicas y a veces no alcanza para mucho más, y creemos, por lo que hemos visto, que sí hace un poco de diferencia, y que la gente también alrededor y diferentes dependencias que se acercan, de alguna manera sí, pues no sé si decir anima y eso, tratar de tener buenas prácticas, de revisar bien las cosas, tratar ahorita al revés que cuando estaba en la academia o ahorita cada tema, en vez de ver cómo saco las cosas más acá para sacar la mayor precisión, no, trato mejor de hacer que las cosas, si no tienen súper precisión, pero que sean muy entendibles y que no haya cajas negras. Y particularmente que para los funcionarios que no estudiaron estas cosas y eso, sí lo puedan tomar y que las diferentes o mediciones o criterios o indicadores puedan ser reproducibles. Si hay algo que es complicado, se para y deja de ser reproducible. Y lo otro es de que también es complicado de que hay mucho dinero que se gasta mal, ya sea por iniciativa privada, nos ha pasado por universidades, de que el gobierno da dinero a universidades para investigación y no hay capacidad del gobierno para ver si lo que hacen es cosas buenas o cosas malas y les hacen porquerías, o sea, es súper triste, ¿no? Pero entonces, pues simplemente saber que sepan que lo que se genera acá y varias capacidades que se generan acá sí son cosas que son útiles y que son, o sea, pues sí, simplemente que esta forma de generar la disciplina tiene cosas que pueden generar consecuencias positivas. Y además, lo otro es empujarlos a programar más, hacer control de versiones y Git, y que muchos temas que a lo mejor tenemos aquí o que no podemos ver con precisiones, que podamos extenderlos a la academia y en la academia que también se desarrollen. Entonces a mí me gustaría también siempre estar pues cercano y estar ahí viendo con ustedes. Bueno, y gracias por invitarme.